Welcome back to another edition of Special Situations Investing with Greg. This week I will be giving a quick review post-mortem of my Acceleron Pharma investment, and then talking a little bit about Southwest Gas. A tender offer that was offered by Icahn Enterprises is going through right now, and it has some interesting things to take a look at. So check it out. Hey everyone. Welcome back to another edition of my YouTube channel on Special Situations Investing and my personal investing practice. As a quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Any companies that I mention in this presentation are discussed solely for illustrative purposes. Discussing such companies and the specifics about them is to help educate me and educate you about certain special situations. It is not a solicitation to purchase them. I recommend that you conduct your own research and identify why you might want to own the company yourself prior to your committing of any funds. I also recommend that you seek the services of a financial advisor that has considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. And then finally, may your education here grow your knowledge, improve your personal investing performance, and give you the confidence to take control of your future. Thanks a bunch for watching. Now on to the video. Welcome back, Investing Mutants. Before we get into the meat of this video, which will be on Southwest Gas and Icahn Enterprises and their offer for that company, I wanted to spend just a little bit on doing a post-mortem on my experience investing in Acceleron Pharmaceuticals. So Acceleron Pharmaceuticals, they had a tender offer for their shares at $180 per share, and it happened back in October that they made this offer. I saw that it was priced relatively lower, about 3% is what I was expecting to get out of this one. And I went ahead and purchased, I got in at an average price, including fees and all the other transaction costs that go along with these. Sometimes when you participate in tender offers, just be aware that you will have transaction fees. But for me, my entry price was about $175.22 per share, and the sale price ended up being $180 per share. And the return over the 2 months from October 4th when I purchased to November 24th when the money was deposited into my account was 2.75%. And I just thought that I would share that with you. Sometimes the tender offer doesn't always give you like huge returns, but sometimes it's nice to have that. I have had some of you in the comments tell me recently that you're only getting like 1 or 2%. And sometimes that happens with tender offers, and be aware that that's the case. Sometimes it's more sure, like in this case, I think it was a more sure bet that I was going to get some funds coming out of it. And sometimes, even though those are lowered returns, it might be more valuable over time to get into some of those from time to time, just because it maintains stability in your account. Either way, part of the reason why you do tender offers is you want, or part of the reason why I do tender offers is that I want to have some stability for those times when I know that there is obvious moments to buy into longer term investments. COVID-19 and the fall back in March of 2020 was one of those moments that really rocketed the returns for my funds or for my accounts over that time. Some other places that you might have seen that is when the market prices go down over the entire market, then you have some of your companies that really become very valuable, and you want to make sure that you have funds available to buy into them over that time. With that in mind, maybe next week I'll talk a little bit about Shift, because it looks like it's dealing with a little bit of significant shorting on the company at this time, and it might present an even more valuable opportunity. So pending thoughts, I'll talk about that one next week, I think. If you don't want me to, just let me know in the comments. So on to our second topic. Our second topic is about the Icahn proxy and tender offer, both the proxy fight and the tender offer for Southwest Gas. So Southwest Gas is a utility company for the southwest region of the United States, and the On the 24th of November, Icahn Enterprise Partners, they released through the SEC, through an SEC filing, some of the information about why they think that Southwest Gas is being currently led by some less than stellar management. And I thought I would just spend a little bit of time talking about the main points, and then part of the reason why I think that this is an interesting thing for any investor to spend some time reading, and we'll go to there. So the main points of why Icahn is bidding for any and all shares of Southwest Gas at $75 a share. The partnership says the following from this report that was filed with the SEC on the 24th of November. First and foremost, that selling, general, and administrative expenses have increased from about 2% or lower to almost 4% since the current CEO's rise to leadership with the company. Then Icahn Partners goes to their second point, and this comes from the State of Nevada's Public Utilities Commission. And this audit that they have for the company from 2018 to 2020, every year public utilities usually have to report like how their expenses go to public utilities, and in this case Southwest Gas and their company has been talking about some of the things that the Southwest Gas leadership seems to be defraying their personal expenses for luxury items onto the utility customers. And there's a lot of different things in here. I'm not going to get into the specifics because I can see this as being quite a frustrating experience for both sides. But if you're interested in looking at it, I would definitely take a look at slide 7. You can kind of see what they're saying about the different things. I wonder if it's political rhetoric from the Icahn company trying to say, hey, this is what's going on, you guys need to pay attention to it. And I mean, he's an activist investor, so expect that that's going to happen sometimes if you're watching Carl Icahn's activities. The third point that Icahn Enterprise Partners talks about is the management compensation from 2019 and 2020. Both of those years, they had an increase of 25 to 27% of the management compensation over that time, and that's each year respectively. So 25% in 2019 rise from 2019, and then a 27% rise from 2020. And so significant increases in their CEO compensation and pay. But that can include all sorts of different things, guys. It can include things like stock compensation and how the share price is performing. Now, with Southwest Gas, that may be something that doesn't necessarily go through as well because the share price has had a rough time over the past couple of years. The fourth one, and I think this one is definitely important, that Icahn Enterprises talks about, is that management's actions have caused a downgrade in the credit scores for Southwest Gas at the three main credit agencies. So they had quotes from Moody's, Fitch, and S&P, and all of them talking about the increased risk as they've gone in and purchased all these other non-utility companies. And I think that's kind of the point that Icahn Enterprises is trying to make, is they've gone out, this management team, they've been a little bit extravagant in their expenses, but the real thing is that they've been extravagant in the purchases of companies and purchases of things that are not necessarily relevant to the company's operating activities. That goes on to their fifth point, and their fifth point is that they felt like their most recent problem was that they've been doing poor deals, and it was highlighted most recently with the Questar Pipelines deal that was done earlier this year. With that in mind, the final summation of Icahn Enterprise Partners and the reasons why they want to have this change, this proxy change, and then also purchase all the shares themselves, is that basically there's minimal utility experience in the board of directors, and so they may not be providing the type of oversight that's going on here. I don't know if any of this is true. I want you to be aware that I'm just reporting what Icahn Enterprises is talking about on this, and so if you really want to look at it, take a look at the slideshow that is posted from SEC. I think that it would definitely be worth your time, even if you don't invest, just to understand the thought process that someone like an active investor like Carl Icahn would spend on an investment. And I think it just improves your understanding of what you should do over time. And I would like to point out that Carl Icahn's plan or Icahn Investing Partners plan for making money in this investment has a couple of things that would be involved with this. And I think some things need to happen for them to get what they want out of it. Number one, if they have successful purchases of a significant amount of shares of the company through this tender offer that is set to end in December, then that allows them to have more control over what will happen in the proxy fight, and then also if they decide they want to take it like private or anything like that. So buying IEP may be able to get into this and purchase a significant number of the shares at $75 a share. I would expect that the share price being where it is indicates that not everyone is going to go ahead and sell at that share price, and that tells me that we do have a little bit of a proxy battle over the next couple of years between Icahn Investing Partners and the Southwest Gas Board. With that in mind, if you don't want to be, you may not want to be a part of this special situation, you could just buy the shares. You know, I think it was just under $75 a share, or $70 a share, so you can buy them at about $69.50 or so, and then sell them for the $5 profit over the next month. Might be an interesting thing to go in and purchase. The second thing that they would need to do is the current structure of Southwest Gas includes a poison pill, making it difficult for someone like Carl Icahn or any other activist investor, for that matter, to come in and get a really good deal for the company. So that tells me if Carl Icahn's proxy that he puts into the board allows him to buy the shares at a reduced price, it tells me that he's going to get a good deal on this no matter what. And so he may not be protecting the small investor like you or I, but again, something to pay attention to. The third thing that they look like they might do is they might sell the non-performing or the non-utility assets of the company in order to shore up the balance sheet. And this happens usually when you do have someone like an Icahn Investing Partners trying to get into a company and doing the activist play, is they'll go ahead and they'll restructure the company that's more streamlined for their operations, and when they start trimming the fat, it makes a lot of money for them individually and may not necessarily make money for you. In summary, I think that the current Southwest Gas tender offer does provide some stability, on the short term at least, for anyone that's interested in investing in this company. And then it can give you some time to take a look at the actual company yourself if you're interested in doing the same thing that Carl Icahn is doing and getting into a longer term purchase into the company. It might turn out to be a relatively good thing to look at. If you want to look at some valuation calculations, I'm not going to say that they're what I agree with, but I think that he's pretty close to what he needs to be. I would recommend you take a look at Robert Honeywill's due diligence that he did on Seeking Alpha, because it does kind of give you an idea of what you should expect over the next couple of years if you do invest in Southwest Gas, and it doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily become just a private equity or a private company under Icahn Enterprises. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it provided value. If you are interested in investing in Southwest Gas, please comment in the section below. That helps me understand that I'm providing good resources for you to take a look at. As always, if you hit the like button, that really does help me understand that I am making quality content that you find valuable. And then finally, anytime that you subscribe, that is probably the most valuable thing for me, to really know that I am taking care of my YouTube watchers. So Thanks a bunch for watching, and we will catch you next week.